Okay, welcome everyone. This is the coaches and coxswains meeting for the collegiate racing being held on Lake Quinsigamond on tomorrow, April 5th. My name is Thad Gamula, and I will be presenting some of the information tonight. The host schools for this weekend are Assumption, Clark, and WPI. So the racing is staged out of the Donahue Rowing Center in Shrewsbury, Mass. The chief referee for the races is John Quinn. He will be speaking later on in this presentation. And just if anybody has any questions come up, or if anybody wants to ask anything, chat has been deactivated on this. But if you look on your computer screen or your phone screen, there's a little icon at the bottom right. It looks like a triangle, a square, and a circle. If you click that, you can get to the Q&A section. And if you go to the Q&A section, ask your question, and anything that's on there at the end of this presentation, we will do our best to answer and get to. So once again, there is no chat functionality on this. And if you have a question during it, please ask it through that question and answer function. Okay, so the reason everybody's always here is for parking, right? So let's briefly go over parking. If those of you who've been here before, everything's the same. On the screen is a bird's eye view of the DRC and Corazzini boat ramp. You can see on the bottom right near the QRA logo is the DRC. Above it, where it says teams, vans, parking, is a dirt lot. And to the left of that is the Corazzini boat ramp where visiting schools will be. So visiting schools will park their trailers along the south side, right side on this view of the Corazzini boat ramp. The team buses will park on the north side, which is the left side of this view. There is a dirt lot where it's labeled teams van parking, and it's aptly labeled. It is for small team vans, no personal vehicles, no team buses, no trailers and trucks. If you look at the roadway north of the Corazzini boat ramp, North Quinsigamond Ave, that is where your personal vehicles and spectators will be directed to park. Anything to the north, anything to the south is completely off limits. So south of the Corazzini boat ramp is completely off. We ask you, do not park on the side of the road, do not leave vehicles, don't drop anything off. No parking. You will have the potential to get towed if you park there. This is a relatively smaller regatta hosting tomorrow, so there should be plenty of space. We are not running a shuttle tomorrow. Should be plenty of space if everybody parks where they should be. And then the last place to note is directly across from the boat ramp is the post office property. Per usual, absolutely no parking, no exceptions, no warm-ups, nothing. Please stay off their property. Don't drive through there. If don't drive through there, don't park there, don't warm up. Just please stay away. Do not enter. Okay. So let's start off with go over traffic patterns. The image you see on your screen here is a shot of the lake that's from the DRC up to the starting cove. You can see the DRC is labeled at the bottom of the screen, and the main docks, for those of you who have never been here before, it looks like a little Y shooting off into the lake from the DRC. Boats will launch off the north side of the DRC docks. That's the area that you can see the two blue arrows coming from. That will be the north side of the DRC docks. You will proceed up the Shrewsbury side. You do have two options. If you'd like to have a longer warm-up, you will launch diagonally across the lake and warm up traveling south along the Worcester shore. Please be aware we say diagonally because if you were to go straight across, you can see a little red circle that says stay away shallow. That is an area we call the pump house, and it is shallow. Stay away from there. Stay out of there. You do not want to lose a skeg for some of you for the first race of the season. If you choose to go the longer warm-up and cross the lake, please be mindful of your race time and turn and cross the race course again at a decent time. We're saying if you have plenty of time, you can go all the way down. You can go past the finish. Please do not sit at the finish line and block anybody timing's view. Please do not go through the Route 9 bridge. It's a big blue arch bridge at the furthest south end of our racing portion. Please do not go past that. We have our permits for north of that, and north of it is where our EPOs and all of them will be patrolling. They will not be patrolling south of it. Please note when crossing, just be aware around you. Look for races coming down the course. Don't try to cut in front of a race that's coming down. Just be safe. Be aware. Make good decisions for you and your crew. So when coming across and then traveling back north, you'll be traveling north on the Shrewsbury side. And there's plenty of space out there. Just please be aware. Our other rule when you come north is there's no power going past the DRC. As you get past the DRC, you've got boats launching, you've got boats landing, you could have races coming down. Please, no power. Do not take a power 10 or power 20 or anything going past the DRC docks. It will not be allowed. Once again, please be mindful of races on the course. We say do not hug the buoy lines. So for those of you who are unaware, we do not have our full 7 buoy lanes out there currently. I'll go over that shortly, but at no point should you really be hugging buoy lanes when you're warming up. The other reason for that is there is an event out there that has a 5-boat race. So we have 4 fully buoyed lanes. That means 1 boat is racing outside of the buoyed lane. So please be aware. I'll get to it when I get a better view, but I believe it's the WPI hosted men's 3v8 that is the 5-boat race. If you are a team that's warming up and you know you're going to be out warming up when this race is coming down, please be mindful and do not hug those buoy lines. You will be in the way of oncoming crews and a safety hazard. So whether you decided to go the longer route for the longer optional warm-up or you decide to go directly north off the DRC docks, you will eventually get to the 290 bridge, which is the bridge that we start underneath. So once again, our course is not completely in yet. However, we do have 4 fully buoyed lanes. Each 500 will have each set of red buoys as if there were 7 lanes out. So it's a good monitor to when you go past the 500s, you can see where you are because there will be all the red buoys out as if there were 7 lanes. However, there are only 4. Each lane we go from Worcester to Shrewsbury, we go 0 to 6, just so everybody is aware of that. Lane 5, once again, is only going to have its west buoy line, which is the Worcester buoy side. We will use lane 6 as the entrance into the warm-up cove. It's not fully buoyed, but you can kind of get an idea from the edge of the buoy closest to the Shrewsbury side. You can get an idea of the space, and when you're looking at that 290 bridge, you'll see that there's no stake boat in that lane, and that is how you're going to enter. There'll be another view coming up here that will explain it a little better for those that aren't understanding. So this slide shows our current configuration, as I've said, 4 fully buoyed lanes, lane 5 having 1 buoy line. Racing is going to be in lanes 1 through 5. With once again, you're going to get sick of me hearing me say it. Lanes 1 through 4 being fully buoyed. Host coaches, please make sure that all are aware when you have a 5-boat race. I think it's just the one. It will be important for crews warming up to understand where the 5-boat race is and when it's coming down. It's a good thing to point out for John and the referees as well when that 5-boat. He'll go over that later. So to repeat, you'll enter the warm-up area in lane 6. Lane 6 is pretty much right where these green arrows are. They go directly under the bridge, and you will be next to the pier that's closest to the Shrewsbury side. Once you go into the warm-up cove, you will see 3 large white buoys. The traffic pattern is counterclockwise around them. please stay in earshot of the referees while up in the warm-up cove. Stay out of the back of the cove. There's a little area far off to the back. Don't go all the way out there. Stay in earshot. You want to listen to when you get called. When you are called for your race, you will enter the course in lane 0. So you can follow their teal light blue arrows. The first fully buoyed lane on the Worcester side is lane 1. There's a stake boat in it. You can't miss it. You will be entering the course from lane 0. It's directly next to lane 1. Once again, no stake boat. It's a pretty easy giveaway. You will enter in reverse numeric order. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You will turn 90 degrees once you get past those stake boats. You're going to turn to port and you're going to row into your lane. You're going to turn again and then back down into your stake boats. Now, I understand this is an early race. There's going to be some leniency given with getting in the stake boats. John's going to go over it. But please do not go far down the course to turn. Backing from 100 meters is not exactly pleasant, especially if there are difficult winds out there. This is another view. This is a lake view of the bridge. This is good at Coxswains. This will be close to your view before you enter the cove. Just please be aware, the exact location of this view is lane 5. So you can see off to the right how close lane 6 is. If you look carefully, you can see the buoys. And that's how you're going to enter. You're going to have that pier to your right. You're going to be in that lane to go up. And to repeat, as you enter the course, please make sure there is no race on the line. If there are boats that are getting on the stake boats, look like they're ready to go, please do not go through the cove. Do not enter the cove through lane 6 if there's a race on the line. The referees will call you on it, and it'll be a violation. Once again, off to the left, that big span that you see in front of you is where we race under. The next set of piers off to the left, where you can see all the graffiti on, you're going to be just to the inside, the closer side in lane 0 when you come down to turn into your stake boat. And I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of questions on this, so please feel free to ask, and we can address everything at the end. Now to go over the stake boating process, starting, and all other refereeing points, I would like to introduce the chief referee, John Quinn. John?
Good evening, everybody. First of all, I apologize for the raspiness of my voice, but it's a combination of a bad cold, bad head cold, and early season allergies that just won't quit. I've been tested for everything else, and I'm negative. Anyway, first of all, I'd like to really go on record and offer kudos and thanks very much to the LOC for having gotten as much of the course in as they did. We had a late spring, had ice out there, a couple of weeks ago, and it was really a yeoman's job to get as much of the course installed. So you'll be racing in probably better conditions than most of the crews that are racing this early in the spring or are on other courses. As Thad said, again, the most important thing is when you're going to the start, stay away from the lanes. Stay away from the lane buoys. Or first of all, before I even go into that, tomorrow morning, I will be there a little bit after 7 o'clock, and the other referees will be assembling about 7:30. If you have any specific questions, if anything that we haven't talked about tonight, don't hesitate to ask. We'll be on the porch or in the vicinity of the porch of the rowing center. Don't go on the water with a question that's not been asked. We'd rather give you the answer to the whatever question you have on the land instead of trying to figure it out on the water, and that always doesn't work. Stay away from the racing boats as you're coming up into the marshalling area. As Thad said, if you see a race on the line, don't enter under the bridge, because you will be creating a wake and a diversion to the crews that are on the line and a distraction to them. Once you get into the warm-up area, again, Thad mentioned briefly, if you went all the way into the back section of the warm-up area, there is a little cubby hole back there that the fishermen use. We are not going to come chase you. I will say that right now, and for the record, we are not going to come chase you for your races. Wear a wristwatch, know who's in your lanes, in the rest of the lanes that you occupy, know what time of the race is going to be. It's your own responsibility to be present when we call for you. We are not going to run all over the lake looking for you. If you miss a race, that's on you. It's not anything that's protestable. It's not anything at all that we can give you a second chance on. When you use the warm-up area, counterclockwise, as Thad said, is the rule of the day. Please, before you take a power set up there, have the bow person turn around and look and make sure nothing is in front of you. Don't go straight back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We want you to use the big loop type design, like a big oval, reverse oval. So if you have any other crews up there, at least have the other crews in your line of vision, because a collision in the warm-up area is usually a very, very ugly thing to deal with, and we just don't want that. When we call your race, we will call your race probably as soon as the race before you clears the broken equipment zone, which is 100 meters. That will give us about 8 minutes, 7.5 or 8 minutes to get you on the stake boats. We want you to be coming down towards the starting line. Do not go between the stake boats. As Thad mentioned, lane 0 is not buoyed. Lane 0 is between the pier and the first stake boat on the Worcester side. We will direct you through that location, and that's the place we want you to go. The other thing that Thad said that's very, very accurate is do not row downstream past the starting line for 100 meters. In all likelihood, we'll have pretty good opportunity to have some inexperienced crews out there, certainly crews that have had no other racing experience this spring yet. Backing a boat up is one of the harder things that you'll do. Backing it up in a wind is almost impossible for an inexperienced crew. If you stop right once you go past the stake boats and back up the minimum period of time, that will serve your purpose much, much better. The stake boat holders will be told tomorrow not to try to grab your stern. Come into the stake boat slowly and under control. If we don't want any pinched fingers, that really smarts. I've seen some real incidents where people get their fingers caught between the back of the stake boat and the rudder. Once you get on the stake boat, hold your position. Keep in mind your physics classes of how much pressure you can exert on the back end of your boat by pulling around with a bow or two oar, and it just becomes a big fulcrum. If you're pulling around on one side, to get a point, back down on the other side. For example, if you're pulling around on lane with the bow person, back down with stroke. That will help keep the boat stern in against the stake boat. Do it gently, do it under control. If you have a problem, and I failed to mention this, let us know. We have 4 licensed referees out there tomorrow, and I'm very, very impressed at the amount of time and grade that the referee group generally have had. At least 2 of us have spent time in your seat, and we will try our best to get you on. We won't give you a lot of instructions. This is not the time to teach you how to row, but we will try to assist you to get on the stake boats. I will say that getting a crew on the stake boat, especially in first races of the season, is sometimes a chore. We will do our best to get you on the stake boat. If you are unable to take instructions, if you are unable to have the skill set to get on the stake boat, we will excuse you from the course. We will just not permit you to stay out there and be a hazard and do damage to other crews and yourself. But if you're totally unable to get onto a stake boat, we will excuse you and send you back. The referee's responsibility when we're on the water is safety first and fairness second. And above all, we want everybody to come out of this with themselves and their equipment safe and unsmashed, unbroken. We want the volunteers, the motorboat drivers, and we want the referees to be safe and have a fair day, safe and fair day as well. Once you get on the stake boats, we're presuming that if we have a nice day, we will try to use a conventional start, which means we will announce the cruise and have a conventional start, which means if, for example, if there's 4 boats, we announce the names of each of the boats. We used to call it polling, but it's not polling, it's an announcing right now. We're just announcing the name of the crew. Then we'll say, attention, go, and accompanied by that with the drop of a red flag. Polling of the crews, red flag, attention, go. Okay. Once we start that process, we are not recognizing hands. Okay. So it's going to be your responsibility to get your point. There's fully buoyed course. It's very, very easy to steer. All of these are Coxswains boats with all the 4s. I dare say probably most of the 4s are going to be bow-loaded 4s, I would imagine. And that's duck soup. But just be attentive to what your point is and make sure you're pointed before we start. If for any reason we cannot get you on the stake boats, we will try step 2, which will be to come downstream a little bit and have a floating start as a quick second alternative. If we just reach a point where it's impossible to get the crews off the line safely and fairly, we'll float you down a little bit, because usually the use of the stake boats is sometimes the difficult part in itself. We'll take you down 25 or 30 yards, do an alignment, and then we'll use a quick start. And we will tell you ahead of time that we're going to use a quick start. And we'll say, quick start, attention, go. We will not be using the announcing at all, but we will use a red flag and the same as if we were using a conventional start. I should add that in this whole process, whether you're in a conventional start or a quick start, you will hear the aligner in your starboard ear. The aligner will be off to the coxswain's right-hand side. The aligner will be on the side towards the Worcester shore. Once you get started, once the red flag starts down, you may go. If you jump the red flag, if you leave the starting line before the flag starts, we'll stop the race and you will be assigned a penalty, awarded a penalty. 2 penalties and you're out. Okay, and please don't do that, because it's just going to make the day harder. It's going to make the day run not as smoothly as it should. And we're out there again. The second part is fairness. We're out there for a fair day, and we just want to make it as fair for everyone as we can. You have 100 meters. If something in the boat breaks, we have the buoys are out there, Thad, 100-meter buoys. Okay, there'll be buoys that are 100 meters. If something breaks in the first 100 meters, you have every right to stop the boat and put your hand in the air. I ask that we don't want you to row out of the broken equipment zone. Do not row out of the broken equipment zone. And at the finish line, I said, well, my oar broke 2 strokes into the race. That doesn't do it. As soon as something breaks, stop rowing, put your hand in the air, we'll attend to it. Broken equipment does not mean to jump slide. does not mean a crab, does not mean a bad start, does not mean anything other than what I said. It means broken equipment only. Okay? Over the body of the course, we will use a red flag and a white flag. Again, most of the white flags, the white flag is to give directions. The red flag at that point would be to stop a race. If for some reason we have a false start or there's broken equipment, whatever, you'll see a red flag and a sounding of this horn, and we'll stop the entire race. If we're going to direct a crew, if a crew is about to wash another crew, leave its lane, and strike another crew, first of all, your steering is your own responsibility. We will not steer you down the course. We will direct you in the event that you are about to strike a crew or wash a crew. We will call the crew's name, we will show a white flag, call the crew's name, and drop the white flag in the direction we want you to head. Please go in that direction right away. We will not be giving that command 10 strokes ahead of time or anything like that. That's at a time when we want you to move right then. Over the body of the course, I would ask that you, as you warm up, or even in the morning, or if you want to take a walk down on the dock, most of the course is visible from the dock. We can show you approximately what the reference points are. Pardon me. Allergies. Again, so those reference points would be 500, 1,000, 1,500 meters, and then the 2,000 meters mark, which is the finish. The 2,000 meter mark at the finish is approximately 150 meters before the Blue Bridge. You'll see on the right-hand side, on your starboard side, you'll see a little bit of a grandstand, a little bit of an incline, and there's going to be folks in there. There'll be an orange flag held up, and as the first crew goes across the finish line, the flag will come down. When the second crew goes across, the flag will go up. There'll hopefully be a noisemaker there as well at the same time. At the end of the race, the referee will do nothing for a minute, about 20 seconds actually, a brief period of time, just to make sure everyone is okay. If anyone in the boat is having a problem, again, we've seen it all, respiratory issues, athletic allergies, athletic asthma, any kind of illnesses at all, put your hand, referee coughing, put your hand in the air, and we'll come over and attend to that before we do anything. If everything was okay, we'll show a white flag and give the time to the finish line. And then at that time, we ask you to exit the course or to the Shrewsbury side and come up towards the starting line and dock at Donahue. Again, stay away from the buoys. Be mindful, as Thad said, there is one 5-boat race. We tend to get excited when we see 2 boats occupying the same lane, going in opposite directions. And so we will be kind of verbal about that. If there's any questions, if you feel your right to win in the race has been taken away, put your hand in the air at the finish and let us know. We'll talk about it. If you wish to appeal the race, if you wish to, you used to call it a protest, and we can't solve it right there, we will hear the appeal at the end of the regatta, but that appeal must be delivered in writing to the LOC, whoever the LOC is at the dockmaster. That, I guess, will be down there, right?
Yes, I will be there.
Accompanied by $50. And if we hear the appeal and it's decided in your favor, you'll get the $50 back, and the decision will be made to either do whatever comes out of the appeal, or if we rule against the appeal, the LOC gets to keep the $50. That's everything in a nutshell. It sounds overly complex. It sounds overly. We'll try to simplify it. It really all revolves around safety and fairness and common sense. But please, 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 If you have any burning questions that I haven't asked, either put your hand up right now, I'll try to answer them, or come up and grab us in the morning. And we'll be happy to, we won't repeat this training session. That's not the purpose of it. But if you have a specific thing that's burning, it keeps you awake tonight, besides a cough, we'll try to answer it for you. Any questions? That I saw a couple hands going up, but
Yeah.
Stuart had one, and I don't know who else.
We do. So just to remind everybody, we can't actually unmute anybody. If you do have any questions, I'm going to direct you to the question and answers tab. Same thing. Once again, bottom right of your computer, it's an icon, looks like a little triangle, square, and circle. If you click that, you can go to the Q&A and you can ask your question there. John, there was actually a question that popped up, and we can answer it now, but we'll answer anything else that shows up at the end. The question was, will hands be acknowledged?
Hands minimally. Again, we will not permit you to use hands as an excuse to sit there and say, "Oh my God, it's really race time." Yes, it is. We will talk you through getting your hand down as quickly as possible. Okay, we will not start you unless your boats are pointed. That's the function of the referee. So until we actually start to either announce the cruise, or once we say quick start, when either one of those processes are started, either announcing the cruise or quick start, we will not recognize hands after that point. Again, we will be solicitous, and referees will meet at 7:30 tomorrow, and we'll review this, but we'll be solicitous. We recognize it's early season, but we'll be very, very careful about your points. We're not out there to point your boat. You know better how the boat runs than we do. So you know that better if it runs to one side or the other at the start, and you want to correct that at the start, be our guest. We won't just be attentive to that. I hope I've answered the question.
I think you have. Perfect. Thank you, John. And just if you've ever been part of one of these before, you'll hear me echo John every time, or whoever the chief referee is. By all means, if you have a question and it wasn't answered tonight, and it's just, by all means, go up to the DRC on the deck. They will be there, standing there in their navy blue jackets. By all means, approach them, ask them a question. They will answer it as best as they possibly can.
One question, Thad.
Go ahead.
For the coaches that might be, for the host coaches that might be on, I know tomorrow there's going to be a lot of moving parts because we're going to be changing motorboat drivers. In some cases, we're going to be changing motorboats, and we're going to be changing sailboat personnel. If that describes something that your crew has to do, please do it quickly. Have it organized. There is nothing that will put a regatta in the bucket rather than just being delayed with the administrative tasks of moving people around. Please do it efficiently, have it planned, and do it very quickly and seamlessly.
Great. Thank you, John. Okay, so just to quickly finish up here, like John mentioned, after the race has finished and it's been made official, you're going to spin your boat towards Shrewsbury shore and make sure you are off the course and not near the buoy line before heading back north towards the DRC. Once again, watch for oncoming races and stay away from the course. If a race is coming down, stop your crew until the race passes, then continue. It's a must. Just please follow the rule. You'll land at the south end of the DRC docks. And just to briefly touch upon launching and landing, please, don't dawdle on the dock. Please be efficient. Get off the dock. Get, tie in on the water. Please just get off the dock. If there's a line, coxswains, do your best to be efficient and get off the dock. Same thing when landing. Be efficient. Get all your stuff out of the boat and be as quick as you can. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. Go ahead, John.
One other thing, I have to mention it, especially in an early season race. If there is a mishap that occurs, if you lose a person out of the boat, do not row away from that person. Stay with that person. The referees will be on it quickly, but please do not row away from a person that might be in the water. And people do go in the water in our sport.
Absolutely. And then lastly, everybody chuckles at it, but please, no public urination. Porta potties are provided at the bottom of the boat ramp. The clubhouse bathrooms are for local schools only. And just to touch on some info that coaches have sent out, please, if you're setting up team tents to go along the fence, please do not put them across the front of the DRC to block view. And that is pretty much the presentation. I apologize. It does say please submit all questions by chat. There is no chat. Once again, on my screen, it looks like a triangle, square, and circle at the bottom right of your computer. If you click it, there's a Q&A option. I've been informed that other computers don't have that. It looks like the 9 dots where you still click that.
Right.
There's still an option for question and answers. So if anybody has any questions at this point in time, please ask away, and we will get to them as they come in. While we're waiting for any potential questions, a recording of this meeting will be available on the Quinsigamond Rowing Association YouTube channel. Since the race is tomorrow, I won't be sending out links. It's just if you go to YouTube and you search Quinsigamond Rowing Association, it'll be the first video that pops up. I'll give it a minute or two to see if any questions come in, but I put a little snippet of what we expect the weather to be. The bottom right, please dress appropriately. And with that, we have no questions popping up. So I think we can end it here with just the caveat. Remember, if anything has been unanswered, please approach John and the referees tomorrow morning on the deck before they launch. With that, I appreciate everybody showing up. Thank you for attending, and we'll see everybody tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you all. Have a good one.